Hey everyone, Kevin here, and welcome back to my channel. So recently, I came across a post on LinkedIn by some corporate bigwig who said, and I quote, "I'm happy teachers are finally giving up the transitioning charade and are going back to the classroom." And all I could say was, what planet are you living on? I mean, seriously, this guy must be living under a rock or is deliberately burying his head in the sand like an ostrich to come to such a ridiculous conclusion. I honestly didn't even know where to begin with this because there was so much to unpack here that it took me a little while to even figure out what I wanted to say about it, but I decided to settle on something simple. Teachers choosing to leave the classroom and get out isn't a charade. This comment was insensitive, dismissive, and just plain rude. Ironically, this very attitude is one of the underlying reasons why teachers are leaving and not returning in the first place. Now, yes, of course, there will always be some who do return to the classroom for personal reasons because they miss the kids that much. I mean, all of us miss teaching our students. It's what we went into the profession to do. But the vast majority of those educators who are going back do so only to escape homelessness. It's either put food on the table or go hungry, and thus they chose to return to the classroom until they're able to secure a new role outside of education. They aren't giving up on the dream of finding somewhere they will be valued, paid a living wage, and treated with respect. They're just being realistic with their finances and prospects in this abysmal job market. And this flippant remark about how leaving teaching is supposedly a charade shows the dismissiveness inherent in the public school system from administrators, parents, and politicians that we're trying to get away from. Honestly, I think this really just speaks to the societal, almost institutionalized disrespect of educators. People expect us to sacrifice everything of ourselves and accept that all we can do is teach to maintain the status quo, which benefits them rather than us. I'm continually not surprised by how this is such a rushing attitude in society at large now, too. Oh, and trust me, we've proven we can do far more than just teach, by the way. The problem is that we've reached this societal apathy about education due to the total refusal of anyone with actual political capital to do anything which would improve our working conditions. Educators toil far beyond contract hours, spend their own money on classroom supplies, deal with increasingly violent students, and wrestle with administrators to maintain some small degree of autonomy needed to effectively do our jobs, and all without any of the recognition we deserve. And no, I'm not saying that teachers should be placed up on a pedestal, but the abuse teachers have had to put up with, along with the years of gaslighting and total lack of respect, only breaks down education and ensures that students will not have a quality teacher in the classroom anymore. And treating teachers in such a way until they burn out from stress or mental health issues doesn't set a good example not only for the kids, but for the people considering teaching as a possible career choice. That is why we are where we are right now. Credentialing programs are virtually empty around the country. The number of people choosing to become teachers is at an all time low and are far too few in number to replenish the losses from people leaving due to attrition and not coming back like this guy seems to think that they are. I've always said that we don't have a teacher shortage in the United States. It's actually still my most popular video on YouTube. Rather, we have a recruitment and retention problem in education, which is still the case all these years later. Since January of 2020, somewhere in the ballpark of 2 to 2.5 million teachers have quit or retired early due to the unbearable PTSD they've internalized from years of maltreatment in education. Those numbers aren't being replenished with new teachers, and it's created a cascade effect throughout the country with schools looking for ways to hide their shortages of qualified personnel by combining classrooms into lecture hall type rooms, having virtual educators teach from somewhere else in the country to students in a physical classroom, or hire interns with virtually no experience and who lack a full teaching credential just to be a warm body in the classroom. And none of that is sustainable. The system is reaching a reckoning point where it will eventually collapse until we fundamentally make changes which actually do get teachers to come back to the classroom or choose it as a career again. If we want teachers to stay, it starts with listening, valuing, and respecting them, not ridiculing their choices to leave and chart a new path forward to better their mental health and find a job where they're respected and treated like a human being, which is clearly not what the guy who made this comment is going to do. The sheer fact that he made it in the first place clearly shows to me that he has never stepped foot in a classroom, except maybe to disrespect a teacher. But what I am simultaneously still unsurprised and stunned by is the level of dismissiveness and insensitivity that so many people continue to have for education, especially when they're parents themselves and should be worrying about the state of the teachers who will be educating their kids. Educators, mind you, who are depreciating in quality and drive every year. Supporting teachers supports students, and the reason they are leaving and not returning is because you aren't supporting them. And who suffers as a result? That's right, the students. Kids who've already suffered tremendous learning loss from COVID, distance learning, are developmentally behind, and who are suffering from decreasing literacy rates because teachers are quitting and parents aren't reinforcing learning at home. Simply put, the lack of support, pay, and respect is keeping the best candidates from going into the profession and ensuring that the best teachers aren't coming back after they've left, if they can help it, of course. I guess all I can say is that I hope people who call teachers leaving a charade educate themselves and learn some empathy. Maybe that's the first real step we need from people to make things better. At least I hope it is. Well, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to click like and subscribe to stay up to date with all of my future content. But for now, I've been Kevin, and I will see you in the next video.